Para Armenia! Hello! The final of Depi Evratesil, Armenia's national selection, is upon us, so we are gonna go around and talk about our favorites. Are you guys ready? Now, it is a special week. We are joined by our Armenian blogger who lives down under, and Tranig. Hello!
Hello.
And joining us in New Zealand is Robin.
Hi.
She slays. Now, first up, we have to talk about the acts who were eliminated in the semi-finals. We should kick it off with Egine. And please tell us what you think about her elimination.
I'm really disappointed to see her go. She was clearly the favourite for me. She was memorable in the first week with her bizarre wrecking ball performance, and then she's only gotten better since then. She's been killing us with dance numbers like A Little Party Never Killed Nobody, and also Burning Up, of course, which was the big one. And I think she had it all. I don't know why she finished fourth.
Yeah, she was my favourite, basically. When she started in the beginning, her earlier audition performances, it almost seemed like a bit of a joke, like what's she doing in the competition, why are they putting her through? But she really pulled through. I think she worked with her mentor, she played to her strengths, and as soon as she came in with Burning Up, that was like, oh my God, where did this come from? Get her to Kiev in May. She did really well with the Warrior performance last week. Like, that was a really good match. She put everything into it. It wasn't perfect. But it was the stuff that wasn't right with it was stuff that I think could have easily been fixed for Eurovision. And yeah, I'm just disappointed that people, I guess, ultimately it was the Armenian public who didn't like her and didn't give her enough televotes to get through. Yeah, I'm just sad. But what I'm really hoping is going to happen is that Armenian television is going to take a cue from Cyprus and look at the show as like a talent pool. And so in future, they'll internally select the stars. So fingers crossed, 2018.
And you know what? She is a star. She's Eurovision ready. Because Eurovision isn't just the voice. It isn't just the song. It's the performance. And she was an amazing performer. Even if she was singing a train wreck of a song, I would still be like, just glued to her. Because she's got that charisma. Her song choices, they read as very sexual. And I like that. Little Party Never Hurt Nobody. Sexy Silk. Burning Up. Crazy in Love. I mean, she's just very current and very now. And people, I think, sometimes struggle to accept beautiful women. I think oftentimes people hate on beautiful women. And let's face it, she's a beautiful woman. The comments on our website, there was one really nasty comment. Someone said she's undernourished, surgically enhanced, half naked. And that will only get you so far. Well, it gets you real far with me. Because you look beautiful and you sound great. And I can't wait to see you come back. Next, we turn to Suzy.
Well, I really didn't remember her coming into the live shows. She wasn't one of the people who stood out in the first few rounds. But then I think in the live shows, that's when she came into her own. And in the last episode, when she did the cover of the 2010 Ukrainian song, that was probably her best performance. And after seeing that one, I moved her up into my top two as well. So at the end of the day, the two that went home were the two I would have put in the final.
I wasn't so impressed by her, although she was still a good performer, and I could see why she was in the final. But it was just everything was big and loud and full on. And the problem with that is it can get quite overwhelming as a listener. It's sort of, you need those dynamics, the shadows and light, the quiet and loud. And she was always on, always big, always loud. And again, that's something that could be dealt with for if she'd got through to Eurovision, but it could be why she didn't quite get enough televotes.
For me, her best performance was when she sang the French language song Je suis malade. Honey, you were not sick, you were on point. This was good. She can do those dramatic ballads, and I think you're right, Robin. Maybe toning it down a bit or controlling it a bit will help her even more in the future. But she's got the raw talent. I think she could have done well at Eurovision with a power ballad. Sometimes she read a bit more mother than pop star, but that's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. I thought she was excellent on Sweet People. Very nuclear holocaust. I was really feeling it. And of course, there are two acts in the final. Marta, who won the televote in a landslide in the semis, and Artsvik, the blonde bombshell who covered Polina Gagarina. You guys, they are very different artists. Where do you think the public will vote?
I think the public, in both of the live shows, they've given Marta huge votes and she's been the clear winner. I think really I'm expecting to see more of the same in the final. I think as long as she does not do something horrible, she'll probably end up winning.
Well, I know she actually did some pretty horrible things in last week's show. Her cover of Rhythm Inside was really bad. And I would say, I mean, Loic Notet wrote that song for his voice. He's got that big seer diva. He can really belt it. She can't. And when she has quite a delicate, breathy sort of voice, and she really struggled with it. There were pronunciation issues, but there's something that can be dealt with easily. But it seemed like a really bad match, a really bad performance. I wasn't surprised when she came bottom in the jury vote, but obviously she has a lot of support in Armenia. It's just, will that actually translate to Eurovision? Because obviously most Armenians won't be able to vote for her. She'll be unknown to the rest of Europe. Would they be as impressed?
Yeah, I gotta say, I was surprised that she kind of slayed the televote both times. If anything, I think she was stronger in the earlier shows than she was in the live shows. Because in the earlier shows, Naughty Girl, she gave a flash of Egine. There was this flash of performer. And I guess the performance aspect came through in the Loic Notet cover, but vocally and enunciation-wise, I didn't know what was going on. It took me a minute to realize she was actually singing that song. And as you say, they can fix that. Maybe people are voting for the kind of mix of innocent with swagger, like, 'cause she's got this innocent, sweet quality, but she can also kind of, do this. And, that is very important. If you're looking at this vocally, I think Artsvik is a bit stronger. I mean, Artsvik can do the early 90s power ballads, Mariah, Celine, Whitney, Artsvik. It's a very clear narrative. Whereas Marta, I'm not sure who I would compare her to. She is her own artist. And with the juries, Artsvik could potentially do better at Eurovision. But of course, the final in Armenia is televote only, so I think Marta's got it.
Artsvik's really interesting because Christian Bjorkman, when he was a guest on the show last week, he said that national finals are really good because you get to sort of see if a person is likable, how they come across on camera, not just as a singer. And I think her problem is she does come across, she's not as likable. She does come across as a bit of a diva. And when she performed A Million Voices, like I could not fault her technically. Her voice is brilliant. But when Polina sang the song in Vienna, it was this very sort of sweet, innocent message of hope. Whereas with this, it felt like a diva showing off. And that's the interesting thing. That's what kind of could kill her chances at the final this week or at Eurovision. So it's another one of those little things to watch out for.
Yeah, I think with Artsvik, she's obviously a very good vocalist. Marta is probably much more versatile performer. She's done a whole variety of different genres and different types of songs, whereas Artvik's really done all of the same right throughout the competition. And well, at Eurovision, you only get to sing one song, so she's on top of what she's doing, which is the ballad. And if you give her a ballad, then I think she'd probably do very well. And the other thing is, I do think she'd also do better with the juries. And Armenia always does pretty well with the televote anyway, regardless of when we send something like Boom Boom as well. So I think really going for something that the juries might like more is probably in their best interests.
You know, she really killed her earlier performances as well. Hurt, Stand Up for Love. I mean, again, it all sounds very early 90s Trisha Yearwood, kind of. It's got a dated quality. My issue with her is that I don't feel the spark. When she sings, I don't feel the passion. Like with Paulina Gagarina, she was feeling that song, and you could see it visually when she was like, ah! But also, you could just feel it in the music. And Artsvik, it comes off a bit wooden, and I think, yeah, wooden, that's the word I would use. It's very talented. It's like a big oak tree, very beautiful, very strong boughs, but it's made of wood, y'all. So they need to shake her and kind of get her to loosen up. At the same time, she's not going to sing Rhythm of Love at Eurovision, is she? So they would give her a ballad. That's one thing I find interesting about these artist selections, is as a voter, as a Eurovision voter, you want to have the song and the artist so you can make a decision, you know, her ballad, her R&B, Egine, anything sexual. Whereas right now it's like Artsvik, Marta. And so I find it much more challenging to rank them because I don't have a song.
Yeah, I get the feeling, I mean, Armenia are very good at song choice and staging. We've seen that in previous years. So I think whoever is selected, like it really could be either of them, and they'll be given a song that plays to their strengths. They'll be given staging that presents them really well, and they'll probably come in the top 10 or, you know, a decent position. So it's sort of like how it is at the moment. I think they could be happy with those two singers. But on the other hand, as we've seen in the previous episodes, there are other singers that probably could have been more interesting choices that could have made more of an impact. But I guess we'll just see how it all goes.
I think really with Artsvik, it's playing it really safe. Give her a ballad, she'll get in the top 10 probably. With Marta, it's probably a bit more of a risk. You could give her something really unconventional and she could end up being Loic Note and finishing in the top 5, even if it's something completely different. But she could also end up doing really the opposite and finishing in the semis or something. So really, I think she's a bigger risk to take, and I think it would be good to see them take that risk.
With Marta, one thing I really liked, I can't say this, but Siro Kamar, she sang this song.
Yeah.
And she looked like a rich woman who went to a party in a fancy dress, got her heart broken, had a little drink, woke up on a chair on the street. It was real emotional. Like, she was really feeling it. And it was kind of a breathy, you know, pain, pain, pain. But it worked for her, which surprised me because, you know, Naughty Girl was also good. So she can definitely mix it up. This is going to be all about song choice. And, you know, they're going to spend so much time and effort and have a massive, you know, song submission process. I'm hopeful they'll find something that works. In any case, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you feeling Marta more? Are you feeling Artsvik more? You can let us know here on wiwibloggs.
And once you're done doing that, subscribe down below. The button's right there.
And don't forget to give us a like.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.